All right, thanks, Matt. Well, we are getting ready for spring and Easter science style in this morning's edition of Up and Adams Science. I recently headed out to the Da Vinci Science Center in Allentown, where I learned there's a lot more you can do with an Easter egg than simply paint it. Take a look. Morning, everybody. We are having fun once again at the Da Vinci Science Center in Allentown this morning. As you know, we're only a couple days away from the start of spring, and of course, the Da Vinci Science Center has a lot of fun activities planned for people of all ages. With me, as always, is my buddy Troy Thrash, the CEO here at the center. Good morning, Troy. Good morning. And Jen Pritchard, the outreach coordinator here. So thanks for being with us. You've got a fun prop, which we'll get to in a second. But first, my friend, I want to wish you a happy anniversary. Coming up in just a few days, right? March 30th?
Thank you. Yes, March 30th. I will have been here for a year, and it's been an amazing, exciting, inspirational year. We've had a great time here. We've had over 80,000 visitors here over the last year. And, you know, we of course have our challenges with the economy and such, but every day when we come here and there's hundreds of kids being inspired and you're educated in math and science, it's all worth it.
Great. Well, we've had a great time working with you and the time that you've been here. And I know one of the first events you got to participate in, Troy, as executive director, was the Weekend of Excellent, EGG, Adventures, which is coming up over Easter weekend, right?
That's right. That's
Tell
right.
us about that.
Well, this is our 4th year now doing this, and we're working with our at Just Born for this Weekend of Excellent Adventures. Also, some folks at Wise Markets have been very supportive in what we're doing here. As we know, this time of year, one of the most important symbols of the season is the egg. And this weekend really celebrates the science of the egg.
Okay.
So really the key event that we have going on that weekend is the Egg Drop Challenge, where kids and adults can come in. They build a contraption to protect an egg that they're going to drop 19 feet from our 2nd-story balcony down to the floor.
Who's on cleanup duty that day?
Well,
hopefully not you.
We've got a few extra staff working overtime for that, but it's amazing some of the contraptions that the kids will build with the materials here, or they come in with materials that they've used at home. And, you know, the success rate every year has gotten higher and higher and higher, so a little bit less to clean up each year.
All right, well, that's encouraging. Yes. And again, it's April 2nd, 3rd, and 5th, right?
That's correct. We are closed Easter Sunday.
Okay, well, this sounds like fun. Can I give this a try, you guys?
Sure.
Do you have faith in me?
I do.
Okay, well, Jennifer has a contraption here. Now, tell us a little bit about the science we can learn from this infamous egg drop.
Well, when you're thinking about dropping an egg 19 feet, you want to think about a couple things. One, increased air resistance. So how can you slow your egg from falling really fast? And then also, what can you do to make the force of the impact a lot less? You want that egg to stay intact right there.
Okay, and tell me about this fancy schmancy contraption here.
Well, actually, we had a bunch of different designs. We've done this for a few years now. And so there are different designs: parachutes, egg bombs, helicopters, all different types. And we actually take a tally rate at the end, and we're going with a 46% success rate of egg drops here.
Okay.
So we modeled it after our most popular with the parachute. And you'll see this cushioning here to hopefully.
Well, we've got our buddy Karen Connect down there, complete with her PEEP safety helmet, looking very chic, Karen. I like it. And Jennifer, what do I do here?
All you have to do is drop and hold your breath.
I gotta inflate our parachute a little bit here, right? Ready, Karen? Here she comes. Of course, it flew a little bit behind. All right, Karen has the bag. She's going to unwrap and see how we did.
The moment of truth.
I know. So far, so good. I don't see any. There she is, ladies and gentlemen. No cracks? No cracks. All right, no scrambled eggs anywhere? That's good, that's good. Thanks, Karen. And Troy?
My breakfast remains intact.
I know, that's good. Not bad. Well, thanks for setting me up very well, Jen. And I know there's an added special fun component this year, right?
Well, that's right. Now that you've successfully completed the drop from 19 feet, we're going to have certain times throughout the weekend where kids can take their contraptions, and we're going to have some of our professionals here drop those contraptions off the roof of the building outside. So instead of 19 feet, we're talking about 40+ feet.
Wow, so really
that's
testing up.
Real challenge.
Okay, and that, of course, is weather permitting, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, that sounds like a lot of fun for people of all ages.
That's
Great
right.
way to celebrate Easter with the family. And Jen, tell me a little bit more about what else is going on, because this is only part of the fun for that weekend.
That's right. We have an egg relay that we're doing this year, as well as we have an egg challenge. Can you blow a plastic egg into a cup using just your breath? And we'll also have other egg specimens from different animals. So lots of fun to be had.
Wow, sounds great. Well, guys, thanks so much. I'm glad I didn't make a mess of your floor, because I'd like to come back, you know.
Absolutely.
And coming up in just a few minutes, another test. We're going to talk about some of the out-of-this-world activities here at the Da Vinci Science Center. And my friends, at least they're my friends right now, are putting me on the famous gyrosphere. So I'll take that for a ride in just a minute. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back. And it's time now for part 2 of this month's edition of Up and Atom Science. Wait until you see what our friends from the Da Vinci Science Center got me to do this time as we learned all about space. Take a look. Well, good morning once again, everybody. There's no turning back now. I'm not getting out of this. As you can see, I'm strapped into the Da Vinci's famous gyrosphere. And joining me once again is Troy Thrash, the center's CEO. And we also have our new buddy, Gary Klein, who is the center's facility and exhibits manager, who promises not to hurt me in any way. Right, Gary?
Yes, that's correct.
There was a little hesitation there. I hope there was no hesitation. Well, thanks for being here. Troy, tell me a little bit about the gyrosphere. I know it's similar to something NASA uses, right?
That's right. We call this a ride, but it really is very much a training tool that NASA has used for their astronauts to simulate the forces that astronauts feel as they're spinning in a microgravity environment in orbit.
And Troy, I know it's really appropriate that we're talking about space because you guys have a sensational space theme event coming up here at the center.
That's correct. It's April 24th. It's our Science Hall of Fame Awards. And it's April 24th for a reason. That happens to be the 20th anniversary of the launch of the Hubble Space Telescope. So we're going to have a very space-themed event. At this event, this is where we honor accomplished students and teachers in the area for math and science. Our keynote speaker is going to be Winston Scott, who is a 2-time shuttle astronaut. He's a captain, as a matter of fact, and an old friend. He's got a fantastic story. We're really excited. He's going to be here for the whole weekend. It's going to be our Science Works weekend. So kids will be able to come. They're going to be able to meet 2 astronauts, as a matter of fact, do all sorts of other activities as well.
Great. And I guess we should mention, you know, when are people able to ride this popular machine?
Oh, the machine is pretty much open all day, every day that we're open. They have the opportunity to come, and if they so choose, they need to be, I believe, 48 inches tall to ride. And you'll see kids, you'll see adults, you'll see a little of everybody riding this thing and enjoying it.
Great. So I think I'm ready, Gary. But we should mention that you go through special training to make sure that I don't get injured, or that anybody who rides the gyrosphere doesn't get injured, right?
Well, that's correct, Eve. And this type of device happens to fall under the state's Department of Agriculture Ride and Amusements Bureau, and it has to be registered and inspected on a regular basis. The inspectors have to go through a rigorous training, a lot of education, and be licensed. And as the center's representative, I am such a licensed inspector. All operators have to be over 18 and go through an extensive training program so that they can safely operate any of our visitors that choose to ride it in a very safe manner.
Okay, well, I'm in good hands for sure. Thank you, Gary. Well, Troy, you know, we've done a lot of segments together now, so I'm going to give you an opportunity this morning to be the commentator. I know you can do a good job. So as I'm riding, will you mind telling our viewers, or would you mind telling our viewers what's happening to me? Hopefully it doesn't include throwing up.
Well, sure, I'll give it a shot. I've always wanted to be a TV host.
Well, thanks. So, Gary, I guess man your post, and I will get my arms all strapped in. May I hand this to you, Troy?
Please.
Thank you, thank you. So I strap in here.
The straps and hold on to the red grips.
Okay.
Very safely buckled in, her feet, her waist, and the shoulder restrained, so she cannot come out of the ride in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, that's good to know.
You will feel yourself floating up out of the seat. That's normal. Here we go.
I'm scared.
So you're looking live now. I think what Eve may be feeling is a nice knot in her stomach as she's taking off. She is now in a microgravity environment in orbit. You see, we have 2 circles. The outside ring is going in a vertical direction. The inside ring is spinning side to side. And what that's doing is, that is tumbling Eve in every direction. And it's a bit different from the motion sickness that you feel on roller coasters or on cars, which is in 2 dimensions. What's happening here is, because Eve doesn't have gravity pulling her in any particular direction, She's floating all over, and that means her body's equilibrium is actually remaining intact as she's spinning on all three axes. And not to mention her hair is messed up, but I think we've seen that with some of the astronauts in orbit as well. We'll see how she does when she comes out of this. Okay, Eve is now slowing down. Her body is working on re-equilibrating here, getting back to the realization, yes, that there is gravity again. Eve, let me ask you, it's over now. How did it feel then, and how does it feel now?
It was different. You're a good reporter, by the way. It was different than what I expected. I wasn't really, I didn't know what to expect, but the full motion, the 360, now I'm not a fan of roller coasters, so that was a little much for me, but definitely fun. I don't feel like I'm going to be sick, so that's definite plus. We don't want any bloopers for YouTube or anything, so it was really fun. Gary, thank you for not hurting me in any way.
You're welcome, Eve. You did a great job.
And I think my hair has some extra volume now, so a free salon treatment, so thank you guys.
Well, that's the way microgravity works. If you need a little extra volume in your hair, you go up in orbit, you're all good. Well, we want to thank Eve so much for being such a great sport here today. Please join us again at the Da Vinci Science Center for our weekend of excellent adventures, as well as our Science Hall of Fame awards. For more details, go to www.davinci-center.org. Join us next month for another exciting segment of Up and Atom Science. Eve, Hasiel, and the rest of the 69 Sunrise crew will be back in a moment. Stay with us.
I think it's going to be the Hasiel, Matt, and Troy show soon. He's good, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Be careful. I gotta be
It
careful.
was funny to see you silent in the background.
I know.
I know that never happens.
Never.
It's crazy.
Excellent job.
Crazy. Thank you.
I would have not. You couldn't pay me to go on that ride, by the way. No chance.